Lemon64 presents a Playguide and video review. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hey there, welcome to the first of several new Lemon64 play guides and reviews in time for Christmas, and this time we'll bring you Popeye, developed and released by Parker Brothers in 1984. In Popeye, unsurprisingly, we take control of the central character, and on this single screen platformer, all we have to do is to collect the tokens dropped by our girlfriend Olive Oil. The closer they are to the top of that screen, the more bonus we'll get, and if they fall all the way to the bottom, they will fall into the water, and if you leave those there long enough, they'll begin to sink, and eventually you will lose a life. We can also lose a life by coming in contact with that Bluto character, otherwise known as Brutus in Europe, and Bluto will try to jump to our position and try to reach down to our position if we are on one level above or below where he is. So my first tip is to try to be 2 levels above or below where he is, and then you stand a better chance. Interestingly, after the first few hearts have been collected on this first level, you'll also find goblins emerging from the left and the right, and they will throw empty bottles towards us. We'll have to smash those with our fist, and we can gain extra bonus points by doing that. And if we get into trouble, we can always collect that spinach, and that will give us invulnerability. When this happens, we'll go green, just like the Incredible Hulk, and just one touch of our measly scrawny body against Brutus will send him bouncing around that level. And that's a great effect, and it gives us a number of loops of that theme music to get him. At the beginning, it gives us full 2 loops. Later on, it will only give us 1 loop of that music, but that spinach only appears once per level. And look at that, sometimes we have to go the long way to collect those hearts, because going the short way, it's asking for trouble. In the top left corner, we can see Popeye and the number of hearts that we've collected, and in the top right, you can see the P equals 2, that's lives. We start out with 3 lives, and we don't get any more score attack points. Stay on the same level as Bluto for too long, he will fire a row of bottles towards us, and yet again, just like those elves, we can destroy those for some extra score, but if we collect the last heart, that propels us on to level 2. Once again, the aim of this level is to collect those tokens, this time in the shape of music notes, and if we collect those near the top, we'll gain the most score, and we can simply leave this room completely to the right if we want to exit this level, but if we want to smash those bottles, that's an easy way to milk that score. Again, staying 2 levels below him, all we have to do is bounce on that trampoline if we get into trouble, and that will bounce us straight back to the top, and we can repeat that level all over again. Doesn't always mean it's plain sailing on these levels, and you can get into tricky situations if you back yourself into a corner between a rock and a hard place, but luckily we can get ourselves out of trouble. You can see these levels are quite blocky, and the music doesn't really improve. I guess the best music is the theme music itself, and by using our trusty spinach we'll gain some extra score, and it's best to collect that towards the end of the level. Now we only have 3 more notes to find. That means we can collect that extra score and get rid of him the easy way. Yes, the music on offer in this game is a mixed bag. On the first level it's bearable, on the second level it's not really bearable, and that end theme on the second level is terrible. On the third level we get to move towards the ship, and on the ship, if we collect those helps on the top level by riding that green moving platform you can see, then they'll be worth a fortune, but unfortunately I don't want to risk that. You can see I'm moving to the left and the right, and that will trigger Brutus or Bluto to move across that screen, and by doing this, hopefully by repeating this over and over again, it should mean this level is a dawdle. What we need to do is to keep forcing him to turn around and ignoring the helps, and unfortunately collecting those on the very bottom level won't give us much score at all, but eventually Brutus will get wise to that and he will come down and kick our ass. So in these spots we'll have to jump up there and collect that green medicine and run down before that timer ticks down, and you can see the vulture on the top. That will give us 1,000 points bonus score if we punch that out, but unfortunately I won't be doing that on this particular playthrough. And look at that, you can fall straight through those gaps, and it's difficult enough to make those platforms, but luckily Bluto is easy to outrun, and look at that, you can't even climb that ladder either. So generally this game has a few drawbacks, particularly the reaching down aspect. If you get underneath that, that's difficult, but at this stage I'm making some easy ridiculous deaths, and players of this game can get far, particularly those on the Lemon C64 Competition who've managed to get up to at least level 14. And the R doesn't wrap around once you get past level 10, it wraps around back to 1, but it is possible to get through 14 levels of this game, because following the formula it's quite easy. Particularly on this ship level, all you need to do is keep out of harm's way and you can take your time. But on the later levels, those helps will drop a lot more quickly, and you will also walk more quickly, as well as Bluto, so these levels do become tricky later on. After that, the player will be taken back to level 1, which they must complete twice before moving on to level 2, and then the game carries on looping around those same 3 levels. This game was converted for the original Nintendo arcade machine by Sean O'Donoghue, and this game was released in 1984, and I think this was pretty accurate to the original arcade machine, and just like the arcade, we can even wrap our enemy in irons. If we punch that punching bag, hopefully it will land on his head, and that's another way to slow down Brutus on that level. So it's amazing that we have 2 ways with the spinach to knock him out, and we can also move left and right and cut through the cut-through pass as well, so it's not like these levels are particularly difficult to understand. Now, the hardest part is to get down those steps in time to rescue those hearts, and yes, it is possible to fool the enemy and force him away and onto our level and force him to go where we really want him to go, but in the main it's difficult once you get to this stage. You also have to be pixel perfect with that punching bag, and if you aren't, well, sometimes you can fall off and miss the bad guy, and if you manage to wrap him up on the lower levels, that's also a greater bonus score. But in the main, I have appreciation for this game. It's very easy to understand, and it's easy to have fun as well, but it's not the greatest game on the Commodore 64. This game was played in the Lemon C64 International Games Competition this year in 2015, and I'll be showing you another game from that competition later on. But for now, that's as far as I can get on this particular playthrough, and unfortunately there is no high score table, but we can see our top score at the top of that screen. So thank you for watching another Lemon 64 play guide and review. See you again next week for another one.